welcome to the Witty Writers Show, Beth.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's so lovely to see you. It really, really is. And I'm so excited for you because you've had a brand new release just recently.
Oh, no, Wes, it's gone.
No, you're there. I can still see it. Just let it catch up. Don't worry.
Okay.
It will catch
I'm
up.
not sure what I did.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. So you've just released the Path of Temptation, which is a collection of poetry.
Yes, it's it's just a little poetry book that I was in the mood to do.
I think that's absolutely lovely. So what are the themes in your new poetry book? Are they to do with life or love or what are your poems about?
Well, there's 4 sections. The first one is called Innocence, and the second is Temptation, and the third is The Fall, and the fourth is Rise. And it's just kind of, how we get pulled into things and, get tempted by things maybe we shouldn't. And, and what happens when we get there.
Are you speaking from experience, Beth?
No, me? No. Not at all. And then, how we rise above the mistakes we've made.
Yeah.
And how we learned from the experience.
That's just fantastic. It really is. And I love the title as well, The Path of Temptation, because from what you've just said, it sounds like your poetry is almost a journey in itself from front to back.
It is. I mean, it was kind of a catharsis for me, just kind of letting things out from the past. And it was my journey, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
It's
still going on. I'm ready to hit the path again.
I'm a great believer that writing is very therapeutic in lots of different circumstances, whether somebody suffers with depression or they've been through a life-changing event. Writing it down in any form, whether it be poetry or whether it be writing in a journal, can be very therapeutic and help you get your head straight again.
Yes,
do you think that's what's happened for you, writing your
poetry?
Well,
I always heard him say, write your pain. And I guess that's what my poetry is. Some people have time struggling and they don't really have an outlet for it. And I think writers are lucky that they do have an outlet for it.
Yeah.
We have a way to put the words down on paper and get them out and then share them with other people who might be going through the same kind of situation. So that's what I like about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've got to say, your book cover is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I was drawn to it straight away. Do you happen to have a copy that you can hold up so we can see it?
Who, me? Like I have copies of my books just sitting around? Yeah.
It's like being on the Blue Peter show. Only British people will probably get that, but it's a case of, here's one I made earlier. Do that again. Hold it up. Look at that. It's beautiful. It really, really is beautiful.
Thank you.
I bet you're so thrilled. Now, you're like me. You're quite a multi-genre author because you do a bit of horror, fantasy, thriller, and poetry. Now, what made you decide to write your first book, which was Cain, the Heretic's Son?
Well, I grew up in a Mennonite church. I don't know if you know what Mennonite is. It's
I have no clue. That's just gone right over my head.
Have you ever heard of Amish people? Maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It's along the same lines.
Okay.
So, me being me, I had to question everything they ever told me, and Cain just always struck me. Why did he do it? The first evil, And the story itself, leads to interpretation. In my book, Cain is immortal. That was how God cursed him for murdering his brother. And I just wanted to see where I could go with that. It was in my head for years, and then finally I decided, well, I'm gonna write the book. And I never expected anything to come out of it, but it turned out really good. I'm quite happy.
It's just fantastic.
I actually heard from the publisher this week, and they're sending it to me fully edited for my approval, and then it will go to print. So it's finally coming back out.
That is just absolutely amazing.
So excited.
So did you try self-publishing first and then go on to traditionally publish?
Yes.
Okay.
I self-published, and it was a mess. I edited myself on my son's high school computer. So when the publishers got it, it was pretty raw. And I really just did it because I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm tired of putting it off. Let's see what happens. And I just, grew into a thing, and I've met all kinds of wonderful people doing the same thing. And it's just been awesome, the whole experience. And I should have the next one out next month.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, it's amazing, isn't it? It's one of those things I think you pour your heart and soul into, your first book, never expecting the actual responses that we get. And it sort of takes your breath away a little bit, doesn't it? Do you feel that?
Oh my God. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, the first Cain was my heart, and the second one is my soul. It's like sending your child off to kindergarten for the first day. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is somebody going to pick on him? Is somebody not going to like him? And then when people do, it's, oh wow, yay, you had a good day. I'm so happy for you.
I know, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. We've got lots of people watching and joining us, Beth. It seems really weird, like Beth and Beth. We're like, I was promoting your interview saying that we were going to be double trouble, and I think I'm probably right.
Probably.
So I'm going to
no filter.
I'm going to pop up some comments because we've got lots and lots of people trying to say hello. So let me get them up here. Oh, there we go. So JR, she says, finally, hey doll.
Hey hon. Thanks for tuning in.
She's so lovely. She's so lovely. Sharon says, welcome, Beth, and hiya, sis.
Hiya. Yes, JR and Sharon, you're in the sisterhood. I started the Phoenix Sisterhood, and it's an amazing thing.
Isn't it? I tell you, it's amazing how many amazing women that you meet and encounter and are able to encourage and gain support, and your group that you've started is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. I really, really do. Lisa's also joined us, and she's saying hello to you, Beth.
Hi.
Theodore says hello. He's joined us again. Thank you, Theodore. He's so awesome. Heather's just joined us, and she says hello, ladies, with a little heart. She's such
Hi.
And let's have a look. I'll come back to that one, Josephine. I'll come back to that one. And let's have a look. Okay, so JR says, you look fabulous, hun.
Well, thank you.
Well, she does. Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look. Marcy says, the book cover is great. And I absolutely agree. It is.
Thank you, Marcy.
It is. It's your Marcy. Joyce says, Cain was jealous and greedy.
He was. But if you read the book, you're going to find out why.
Oh,
so now I'll let you know when the book comes out.
Now I'm really intrigued. Sharon says, yeah, I will so buy that. And she says, not raw learning experience. I agree. Being an author is just one ginormous learning curve. It really, really is. Eva's just joined us, and she says, best wishes with launching Cain Heretic, full speed.
Thank you, Eva.
Joelle says hi as well. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And JR says, I'm actually waving like a fool here. Oh, bless her. She's waving at the screen. Says, hello to you both. LOL, both Beths. Yes, double trouble, Josephine.
You know, we should start another show. Beth and Beth.
I know, right? It's got quite a good ring to it. I like it. Julie's joined us and she says hi. And Josephine says, I love a good cover. Now, tell me more about your book, Cain. What genre is it? I mean, does it have an element of fantasy or more horror?
It's dark fantasy, right on the edge of horror. Ooh. It can get a little raw and bloody.
Now I'm really intrigued. So he's human. Is it set in modern times or is it set back in biblical times?
No, it's a modern day story where Cain is basically looking for redemption. Oh. After all these years, you know, he was a bloodthirsty little shitbox for centuries, and now he's decided, hey, maybe I'm going to make it right. And so he's trying to find his way, trying to find the right path, and maybe win his way back into the good graces of the Creator.
That is fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. Now, have you always been a big reader and a writer since you were young, or is it something that's just sort of built up as you've got older?
Oh, always writing, always. I was in the 5th grade and I wrote a play of Cinderella, and my gran let me have all the neighborhood kids in her backyard acting out this play that I wrote. So yeah, I've been writing forever.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I've got this mental image right now of you being little piggy tails saying, okay, and on cue.
That's pretty much how it was too.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely awesome. Do you know, and I think that's so sweet because our youngest daughter, Abby, she was exactly the same. When she was little, we could be having company and she was always a singer, you know, always singing and performing, and she was born with it. And at 4 and 5, she would just walk in the room and go, watch me, and then she would just break out in song. I was like, I know, right? She was so sweet. But of course, now she's older, she's obviously a bit more self-conscious, as I'm sure you are and I am.
My children don't let me sing. As soon as they understand what music is, you know, I can make it till they're 3, 4 maybe, and then it's like, oh, Grandma, please don't sing. So yeah, that's one talent I lack.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you crack me up. I think you're absolutely fabulous. Okay, so JR says, Beth and Beth, I would so watch that. Which is great. Soel says, love all, think cover, God only one. Yes, I think it's fantastic cover too. I really do. Josephine says, LOL, Beth to Beth. Love the title. It's really intriguing.
Thank you.
And Soel wants to know where you're from. So where are you?
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania in the United States.
Fantastic. Have you always lived there?
Pretty much. I lived in Indiana for a few years. Well, out with Marcy and the rest of the family, but most of my life I've been right here in PA.
That's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Do you find quite a lot of inspiration where you live, or is it more just with your imagination?
Well, the book was actually set in the hometown that I grew up in, just this tiny little podunk town. So yeah, a lot of inspiration comes from here, and especially, you know, there's, well, with the Amish people and things like that, it's you know, it's got a little of that mixed in it, and a little bit of biblical lore, but it is set, you know, in the present.
That's just fantastic. I absolutely love that. I think more and more people are really starting to appreciate the past history and bringing all that forward into modern day times. Same as Autumn's new book. You know, she's got, you know, that mythology, but she's putting it into the here and now, and like you have. And I think that's great, because I think you know, it's going to introduce more readers to the past, but in a really positive, modern way.
Well, and that's the Bible. I think any story you write today has come from some Bible story at some point. You couldn't make up, well, I don't know, maybe some people say it's made up, but the stories that you read out of the Bible, you got murder, you've got incest, you've got war, you've got, you know, sex. It's all right there in the Bible.
Yeah.
And you can pull these elements out and kind of, you know, change them up a little, put your own, I mean, well, a lot of preachers already put their own spin on how they think it should be told.
Yeah.
But that's where I come from with my writing.
I totally get that. It's to do with individual interpretation, isn't it, of the past?
Exactly.
And basically putting it in your own words, which is basically what you've done. It's fantastic. Joyce says, I just went on Goodreads and marked wants to read on the path of temptation. Cool, she was in there. Joyce, you are very efficient. I'm impressed.
Thank you, Joyce.
Oh, and Sharon says, me too.
Sharon's already bought 2 of them.
On the ball. Sharon says, me too. I'll bring the chocolate. I think that's to do with the Beth. I love it. I love it. I love it. Joyce says, I love the word podunk town. That's not an expression I'm familiar with. I must admit, I got the gist, but I'm not familiar with it. She says, my words with friends game will not accept podunk as a word. Well, that's sacrilegious, really.
Little video town.
Isn't it funny? Honestly, some of the things that I come out with, even my own kids go, what's that mean, Mum? Oh, it's British. They don't remember it. They don't remember it. Okay, JR says, this woman is a rock star. You are crushing it, girl. Oh, it is so awesome. So awesome. So you've just released The Path of Temptation, which is your poetry book. And I checked you out on Goodreads and everywhere, as a reader would. Your reviews are fantastic. It's like 4.4 out of 5 so far for your average review. So that is absolutely tremendous. That must be a massive confidence boost for you, especially with, you know, more to come.
Yeah, I've always written poetry, but I read my friends and I think, oh my God, my poetry sucks. This is terrible. But when the reviews started coming in, I was like, oh my God, well, maybe I don't suck that bad. People seem to like it, so I'm happy about that.
I've said this before on the show. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy with how we put so much pressure on ourselves and how we critique ourselves. And sometimes it's nice to get the fresh eyes from readers to give you that confidence boost, to encourage us to then continue on and write more and do more. It makes a whole world of difference. Now, as you know, Beth, we try to do a regular giveaway every week. And I know you have so kindly offered to do a giveaway today for a paperback of yours. I'm assuming it's going to be The Path of Temptation.
Yes.
Fantastic. So everybody who's watching, if you would like to try and win a beautiful copy of The Path of Temptation from Beth directly, then all you have to do is share Beth's interview everywhere, as many places as you want, because every time you share her interview, you get an entry. So you can share it in your book groups, book pages, across social media, because we'll be sharing it everywhere anyway. So the more places you share and tag us, the more entries you'll get. Now we've got 3 winners from last week, Beth. I'm super stoked. So the winner of the beautiful decorative beaded bookmark that I held up last week, the winner is Rena. I apologize, Rena, if I pronounce your surnames wrong. I'm sorry, but it's Rena Agarwal Gilja. And again, I apologize if I've pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. And also, Josephine very kindly offered to give away 2 ebooks. This was for when we was doing our book chat with Leanna in Australia. It was all romance. It was a great blast. You can catch it on YouTube, everybody. So the winners for the ebooks for sharing are Carla Lewis. So congratulations, Carla. And Burnetta. This is really funky. Burnetta Lewis, although they're not related. So we got Carla Lewis and Burnetta Lewis. They both win the ebooks from Josephine very kindly. So congratulations to them. As I said, if you would like to win a beautiful paperback of Path of Temptation from Beth, all you have to do is share her interview. So what is your plan now for this year? Obviously, you are you going to try and have a big online release party for Cain when it comes out?
I would like to, yes. And well, the publisher gets first crack at the sequel to Cain, so we'll see what happens there. And I'm so excited. I don't know what I want to do. This is my first big thing. So yeah, I'd like to have a big release party and maybe, give some books away and have some fun.
That's just fantastic. All right, I'm so super excited for you. For everybody who's watching, I have got Beth's links attached to the video. So please check out her reviews, her books. I'm sure there's going to be a pre-order up for Cain when it's due to come out. So make sure you follow her on Goodreads and Amazon, etc., because then you'll get notified of her upcoming release. It's so super exciting. I think for people like you and I and a lot of the authors that are watching, it's been a really, really tough sort of year and a bit, isn't it? Because, we're new to the business in a lot of ways. And yet because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to have the same experiences as a lot of authors already have, book signings and events and stuff like that. I'm sure you're the same. I can't wait to do all those sort of things.
Oh, I know.
It's tough, but do you know what? I think the amount of things that you do online, Beth, is absolutely wonderful. For those who don't know, you recently set up a fantastic group. Please tell us about your group because it's so motivational.
The Phoenix Sisterhood. It started when, I did my first podcast. And they told me, look, you need to put up your story on Facebook. And I was like, no, I don't. I really don't. Nobody wants to hear my story. I'm so private. And, it just kept going. So finally I was like, okay, I'll put it up. And I got so many responses from women who had been through the same kind of thing and were going through the same kind of thing. And it just gave me this idea that I wanted to start a group where women could be there for each other, to lift each other up. I didn't have women around me when I was going through it. I had 4 babies and I was on my own and it was scary and, but I did it. I survived and I grew and I got through it. And with the sisterhood, it's kind of the same thing. We're there for the hardships. We're there for when something wonderful happens. Everybody just supports each other in every way they can, even if it's just to say good morning or have a nice night. And it has definitely given me back more than I ever expected. I thought, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to I'm going to help women. I'm going to give something back from my experience. And these women have given me more than I ever thought possible. They are just incredible, beautiful women.
That's just wonderful. I love the fact that you're using your own personal experience to bring other women together and create that support and, as you said, encouragement and, you know, that hand reaching out.
Right here still.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. I've seen many friends and family members, you know, go through similar situations. And it is a massive life-changing event, isn't it? And as you said, not everybody has people to talk to and get that support and have that shoulder to cry on or to listen when they want to vent. And for you to give other women that platform in a safe environment, in a safe group, to be able to have that is just absolutely wonderful. I think it's fantastic. I really, really do. We've got some more comments, so I'm going to quickly put them on before we run out of time. Let's have a look. I'm trying to keep tabs on all the comments. Sharon says Podunk is the, I can't read that. I haven't got my glasses. Epitome of a town everyone wants to leave as soon as they graduate high school or gets their O levels. Oh, okay. So graduate and escape. Okay. I'm glad you told me that because I'd never heard of that expression before. I learn something new every week. I really do. Julie says, I loved your poetry book so much. So well done. Oh, that is lovely. That is lovely. Sharon says, I recuse myself. She's fantastic. She says, I will share the interview. Oh, thank you, darling. As many times as you want. More shares, more entries. JR says, so true. My book sat on my bookshelf for over 6 years until Beth invited me to join the sisterhood. I really needed that confidence. Oh, you're changing people's lives, Beth. That's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, look at, she's got me leaking.
Oh, that is lovely. Do you know what? Sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it? It's that support and encouragement to actually chase your dreams and go for you to have given that to JR. That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, so Josephine says, brilliant. Winners, PM her. So Carla Lewis and Bernetta Lewis, please send Josephine a message with your email addresses, and she can send those ebooks to you. That would be fantastic. Okay, so Elle says, can I give her WhatsApp? Not at the moment, darling, but thank you very much for offering. And let's have a look. Sharon says, thanks, sis. Oh, I love it. I love it. Beth, you've been an absolute pleasure to chat to. You really, really have. I know our time was cut down a little bit with the technical, but having said that, as we didn't get as long as normal, would you like to come back when your new book releases, and then we can like do a woo celebration?
That sounds like a plan, hon. I will be there.
Fantastic. Well, please let me know when you've got a date for the for your new release.
I will.
And then we can schedule it around that and hopefully get everybody on board, and we'll have a big celebration. In the meantime, everybody, please check out Beth's book, The Path of Temptation. Beautiful poetry. And it just go and check it out. Go read it. Fantastic. And make sure when you do, please leave a review, because they do matter.
Oh,
Beth, you're an absolute joy to talk to, darling. You are absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll let you know when Beth is coming back on to celebrate the new release of Cain.
Yes.
Yes. Woo woo. Thank you so much, my darling, and thank you, everybody. And we will catch up again soon, my darling.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and like and subscribe here and on YouTube. I keep forgetting to mention that, so please like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Beth.
Bye, hon.
See you later, darling. Thank you.